Okay, I think that worked. Okay, so welcome everybody. I say this every time, what a powerful time this is, and I don't know, this time is no different either. I don't know if there's any time that's not powerful, but there always seems to be multiple astrological events that are occurring at the same time, and I think that's kind of what makes things very interesting and kind of keeps us on our toes. So today is the Lionsgate portal, which I think probably most of you have heard about. So it is again, because it's in the final days of Mercury retrograde, it's making for interesting days. So the interesting thing about the Lionsgate portal, and I thought I had these things numbered right. Sorry. I did have them marked right. Anyhow, okay. So the Lionsgate portal, obviously lion referring to Leo because we're in the season of Leo. So the portal is open from July 28th until August 12th, and the 8th holding the greatest energy because 8-8. 8 is a very auspicious number astrologically and numerically. Turn it on its side, you got infinity. 8-8, you got a double infinity symbol. So the interesting thing about the Lionsgate is it's a really great time for manifesting. But it's interesting because we all know that at the full moon, we need to release. So it's not really surprising that there's a little bit of chaos going on and a little bit of push-pull because we're trying to manifest at the same time as we're trying to release. So that can cause a little bit of confusion. So this portal portion and the manifestation portion of the Lionsgate, just because of the way it is, and the astrological alignment for it, or the reason for it, is because we have so it's the constellation of Leo and the star Sirius are kind of like aligned, which creates this portal. So this portal amplifies intention setting. So if we manifest during this portal, it increases what we're trying to manifest multiple fold because this energy is so powerful. And I think it was, I had read that the ancient Egyptians used this time for that. This was the time that the Nile would overflow. So that's when they had, their planting and their auspicious season when everything was good and abundant and stuff. So that's kind of why we manifest during this time. And there's a couple of ways to do this manifesting. You can meditate, you can cleanse your space, you can journal, you can set intentions, you can, and a gratitude journal, by the way, is as well, is very, very important. And even a vision board. I know Sandra and I have done a vision board years ago. It's not really something, I don't know, I'm not creative in that way. I don't like doing things in that way. I'm not visual in that way. I'm more visual in a meditative type of way. So to me, this is a really good time to meditate, and because that portal is open and it's open to other dimensions and to our ancestors, it's a really great time to involve them in this as well, our guides, our higher selves, and just to sort of like get their input. And when you meditate, and if you meditate regularly, the messages become very clear on what it is that would be great to do. So, enough of that for the moment. We're actually going to look at this full moon itself, the energy of the full moon, because the full moon is actually tomorrow, and the full moon is in Aquarius. So we need to trust our instincts, and our initial responses to things are very important. And I think this is another reason it's actually really good to meditate, because you'll get those impulses or the thoughts, whatever comes to you, they come intuitively and they come sort of like organically. So these are the things that you want to pay attention to. And we don't want to try to force that, because a lot of times I know when we try to meditate, we try to direct where we're going. No, you're not going to get a real message that way, and it's really easy to just kind of do that. So we want to try to avoid that. The other thing about this full moon, oh yeah, there's 4 planets in retrograde as well. Yay! So we've got Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. And all these planets, the retrograde planets, they affect things, obviously. The retrograde slows things down, kind of makes you look back, kind of things go into retreat. So it slows down. It will also slow down the rate that our intentions will manifest. We'll get to it very shortly, but Mercury will be going direct, which is going to be a great help too. But because of these retrograde planets, when we're doing meditation, we need to do it in a way that we're not fighting these retrogrades. Easy to say, not so easy to do, and I think that's why a lot of people are feeling like kind of, I don't know where the hell to go, I don't know where the hell to start. So, oh yes, and the energy will be speeding up because we are coming to, Mercury is going to be coming direct, but because we're in Leo right now, it's a fire sign. Leo is a go, go, go kind of sign, and they just want to kind of go without thinking. We need to, because we've still got Mercury in retrograde and all these other planets in retrograde, we kind of stop. And rather than just react, we want to, and I think this is a really good trick to use, try to become the observer. So rather than allowing our emotions to run away with us and for us to just react, try to be the observer for things. And especially when you want to try to meditate. So that way you're not trying to direct what it is you're meditating on. As an example, you want abundance. So when you're meditating, kind of keep in mind that you want the abundance, but don't try to direct that to be like, oh, I'm going to win the lottery and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Observe, why is it you want to win the lottery? What is it about the lottery that is so intriguing for you that you want to win it? Look at it from that way, not from, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Again, easy to say, not so easy to do. Where are we now? Okay, so also with this full moon, oh, I just said that about the observer. Look at that, I was ahead of myself. I remembered my notes. Okay, so now while we're in this energy, we'll go through what this looks like for each of the signs. And so again, remember your sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign. So with any of these, any or all, or only one, will probably ring true for you. So during this time, so for Aries, commit to a mission that pushes you to be generous with your time. Ask your crew if they would be interested in joining the cause. Their efforts are crucial. That way you can bond while doing something magical for others. Taurus, it's a family affair. Visit or call your family and catch up on their summer activities. By reaching out, you're making sure that you stay in touch and maintain affiliation with your kin. You can design the right fit for your relatives to remain in communication and the foundation of these relationships. This will set a beautiful tone. Gemini, you are a busy bee. You don't have to take on every project and do all the errands on your to-do list. Before you go full speed ahead, know your limits before the emails pile up to a stack too high to complete on your own. Saying no won't make you a villain. It'll show you're not a pushover. Cancer, do not fixate on the problem. Find the solution to living without fear. Rather than worrying about the outcome of situations, take on new endeavors freely. You might want to do something out of the ordinary and live in the moment. You don't have to be cautious. You can be authentic in the decisions you opt for. Leo, learning ways to express your desires without being demanding will help you approach others. Being more compassionate and respectful to the needs of your squad and family, instead of just asserting your wants, adds a new dimension to your connection with them. Virgo, if you need a break from social media, give doom scrolling a rest. It can be frustrating to keep up with everyone's news, and your mind might be overloaded. Meditate and envision a different environment for yourself away from your phone. Your closest peeps know how to get in touch with you, so don't stress about leaving your devices on Do Not Disturb. Libra, defining yourself through relationships isn't allowing you to see your true potential. You are a bold and beautiful person with a lot of talent. Therefore, you shouldn't get your sense of self from how people view you. You are reestablishing your identity and confidence. To be honest, it's about time you're taking a stand to reclaim power and control of your life. Scorpio, what are your career aspirations? Think about what you wish to achieve in the months ahead. When you hone in on the professional vision that interests you, list everything necessary and cross each task off as you complete it. With your drive and determination, there isn't anything you cannot accomplish. Victory is written in your astrological DNA. You got this. Sagittarius, no one can speak to your experiences but you. So now is the moment for you to seize the day and start a Substack detailing your amazing adventures. The goal is to use your voice effectively and be heard. Your stories will prove to be beneficial to others embarking on similar journeys. Capricorn, now is an excellent time to start work on getting your finances together. Consolidating debt or making a payment arrangement might be the optimal solution given the chance. You'll learn how to save your pennies in the future without having FOMO in your friendship circle. Balling on a budget will be easier than ever. Aquarius, creating a better space for relationships is extremely important. Knowing you can have your freedom and remain committed to Knowing you can have your freedom and remain committed is vital to establishing a healthy partnership for your autonomous spirit. Give your crush or significant other room to grow individually and as a couple. It is a great way to ensure longevity. You'll be glad that you chose this path forward. Pisces, manifest your best life. Try to cultivate a more effective routine in which you bring self-care into your day-to-day activities. A walk at dusk or lunchtime yoga class will help ease your mind and heart. Doing so acts as a catalyst for relieving stress and centering your energy. It will revive your aura and vibe as a result. So I hadn't read any of those ahead of time, but what I'm getting from most of these is this overwhelm that we're all feeling, and kind of like picking and choosing the task that you need to focus on, and focus your time and energy on one thing at a time, and not get carried away with the superfluous stuff. I think that's kind of actually interesting, because it seems like everybody's got something that they're dealing with right now. I don't think there was any one sign that seemed to have a great period, but it wasn't all dire either. It was just sort of like very chaotic, quick-paced, fast, almost don't know which way to turn, what to do, but focus on, what it is that needs the attention first, and start there. So we also have Mercury in retrograde right now, and I don't know. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm sure as hell tired of Mercury retrograde, because it seems like every time you turn around, Mercury's in retrograde. So the issue with the moon being in Aquarius right now and Mercury retrograde is like, Aquarius is independent and feisty and wants to get things done, but because Mercury's in retrograde, we need to practice patience. And I guess the way to think about it is, it's better to be kind than to be right, and I think we tend to forget that a lot of times. So just a little reminder, be kind. So we also have happening, so Mercury finally goes direct on Monday, and I think everybody's breathing a sigh of relief, because I know I'm tired of it. So because it's going direct in Leo, it's an opportunity to strengthen new thinking and communication patterns, because we all know Mercury retrograde is about miscommunication. And to be a little more courageous with our words and our expression, and to look at things with new eyes, from a new perspective. So this shift that's going to happen is kind of an invitation for us to explore more authentic ways of expressing ourselves, and to do it with confidence. Don't be shy. Speak your truth, whatever that might look like. So when you look at Mercury's usual retrograde fog, you can get like a feeling of confusion, or feel kind of lost, because we all know, like I said, Leo is sort of like a go-getter type of energy. So it's a little bit hard to work through Mercury retrograde, and it's almost like we have a feeling of we're trying to be ourselves and do our own thing, but it just isn't quite sitting right. So now when Mercury goes direct, we're going to feel a little bit better, and we're going to feel that, oh, finally, now I can do what I need to do. I can move forward, and it's going to feel right, which is great, because I think we're all tired of this shit, because I know I am. And finally, one last thing, we're coming up into eclipse season. So again, eclipses are very powerful, and they sort of tend to reveal things that are hidden. So I think, given the way things have been for, I don't know, it feels like all of this year, I think things are finally going to start to settle a little bit towards the second half of August, and especially after we get this eclipse season over and done with. because I don't know, these energies are just killing everybody, I think. But that's why we're doing this, so that we kind of know how to navigate through it, right? So, and on a final note, I was called to pull a card tonight for us. And I actually did one earlier, and then I lost which one it was. So obviously that wasn't the right card. I just kind of did that one for fun. But that one obviously wasn't the right one. So the card for tonight is, what do we get here? Abundance. Hunter moon and abundance. I like that it's a full moon there too. So let's see what this says about this. Take advantage of this time of abundance. It is all around you. Possibility and opportunity are everywhere. You are open and responsive to the abundance around you. There is enough for everyone. And I guess the little affirmation you can say for that: I am abundant and I am surrounded by opportunity. So again, that is, I am abundant and I am surrounded by opportunity. So the Hunter moon is the traditional moon of plenty. It is when game was at its most plentiful, so the people would not go hungry. The moon was large and bright in the sky, and in some cases deep orange, and there was a great deal of light to go hunting well into the evening. Our ancient ancestors couldn't just go off to the supermarket and buy what they needed to eat. Meat didn't come on trays wrapped in plastic. Eggs were gathered. Warm clothing was made from skins of the same animals that were hunted for meat. Nothing was wasted. This abundance was part of a cycle just like any other. It wasn't present all the time, so this time of the year was to be taken advantage of while the going was good. The barrenness of the winter would soon return. Hunters had to be prepared. They had to have their weapons ready and their trekking skills honed. As modern people, we are less used to these natural cycles of plenty and barrenness because most of us have stepped away from growing food and the natural environment. However, these cycles are still there, even if we are not part of them consciously. This moon normally rises in October in the northern hemisphere, and so is before the winter snows. Interesting, because I think I just said things are probably going to be a little bit different come October. So it's kind of interesting that that shows up there. Just a reminder, because this is the full moon and we have the opportunity to and we should do our release. So we're gonna write down what we want to release and we're gonna burn it and let the universe take it from us. But by the same token, because of this portal, it's a great time to also set an intention. So I think it would be good to do both this time around. Do your release and set an intention. And think of it almost like, because these things are falling back to back, out with the old, in with the new. Get rid of what no longer serves us and let in what is going to serve us. And based on that card that I just pulled, I'm thinking it might be some abundance. So with that, I will leave it there.